No, see, people don't understand that what he was doing was he said, let's travel into a hater's mind. Is what
Yeah,
he said.
he was talking about what people are saying about him, and
Hmm.
not knowing that he likes Kendrick. He fucks with Kendrick.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, he even said that he put up. Well, he inspired Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? So did J. Cole. Everybody gives him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? And M fucks with them because they're lyrical. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But he went at Diddy hard. He said Raper. Wait, did he just spell did he just spell rapper without a P? Did he? Oh, like, oh no,
yeah.
that shit was hard, dog. We'll give it a few minutes, let the notifications go out. We'll, just shoot the shit here for a minute or so. Um, anyways, it's 46 seconds that the live just went on, and I'm sure that people are gonna tap in if they do, and if they don't, cool too. You know what I mean? It'll be out there on the YouTube sphere. I have my buddy Hunt here, who I've known for almost 20
19
years.
years.
If our fucking friendship was a child, it'd
It'd
be
be,
legal.
it'd be in. Whoa, wait, yo, hey, yo.
It'd be legal.
Yeah. It'd be on his way to college right now.
Shit, not if it was my kid. Be honest with a motherfucking military. That's where it'd be. Dude, anyways, for those that are here right now, I'd like to welcome you to the On the Gunline politics discussion slash debate. We were gonna have another guest here. Unfortunately, I'm assuming that life got in the way. Life happens sometimes. You know what I mean? We plan things out, but ultimately, sometimes we get curveballs thrown our way, and other things come up. You know what I'm saying? But it's all gravy. Hunt over here is gonna be chilling with me, and we're gonna have this discussion anyway. Being that I am center right and he is left beyond.
Nah.
Nah, I wouldn't say that you're left beyond, but you're left, right?
More.
Slowly coming back to the center. Slowly
Yes,
but surely.
I'm center left.
Yeah, we can say. I don't know about center. You left.
Yeah.
you between left and far left, whatever that is.
Which is center left.
There you go. Oh man. But anyway, what's going on, big dog? How you doing today?
Oh, nothing. It's a beautiful day, man. A little bit cloudy out here.
Yes.
But other than that, man, just relaxing.
Yeah, we had a bit of rain out here today.
Yeah, we did early this morning too.
Yes, sir. Fucking I'll tell you what. I got outside earlier today. I mowed my lawn, picked up my leaves, got all my house chores done before I came to do this. And now we're here, brother. Now we're here. So just so people know, we're gonna go ahead and have a little discussion about politics regarding Trump and Biden. And it's gonna be mainly our views. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate, and I'm not gonna go full Trump, but I'm gonna go anti-left. Don't give me that look. I know that look.
No,
Right?
I didn't even know.
Motherfucker acting like he ain't full Trump.
No,
Yes.
man, it's just how my face looks. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just
fight.
Yeah.
Yo, dog. Let's say that this attempt that happened on Trump's life happened to Biden. How do you think he would have handled that?
I think that he would probably handle it the same way, other than the wanting to have the photo op thing. I think he would have came out forcefully. He would have thanked the Secret Service. I think he would have, like he did, call up the family that lost their lives, that actually talked to him. I think he would have did that. I think he would have called for unity too. I think he would have called to tamper down the rhetoric on both sides, from the extreme right to the they call it the extreme left, the radical left, and then the extreme right. I think he'd called for both of those two things to really settle down a lot more.
I like you how you try to throw a jab in there saying the photo op.
I
don't think it was just a photo op. I think it was honestly also a motherfucker that was mad. I mean, I remember.
Kill my father.
Shit. No, I mean, I honestly I've seen, and I'm sure you probably have as well, when some of our battles, or being that we've both been to war, we from my experience, whenever I had comrades who were injured or hurt, I didn't see them, like cower down. They were pissed the fuck off, if anything. Well, let me rephrase. You had two types. You had the fucking oh my god, I'm scared, and you had the motherfucking pissed the fuck off that wants to blow everybody's motherfucking head off. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I experienced both of those with back in Mosul when we got fucked up one time. So it looked like him, wanting to kind of like when you go watch a football game, right? And you see a football player get injured. You everybody like chill until you see the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he was doing, but he was pissed off with that adrenaline, saying, fight, fight. I thought he was gonna say, fuck him, fuck. I
Yeah, I
thought
thought
that
that's
would
what
have,
he's saying too.
that would have been a little badass for me. But ultimately, I think that's what it was, and I mean, it just happened to be a good photographic moment as well. Whoever took that picture is definitely going to be an iconic photo taker, kind of like the same one that did the World War II nurse and sailor
Yeah,
kissing.
and like, well, I wouldn't do it that one because like that was something that wasn't agreed upon. He didn't know her, and she didn't know him, and she was like, actually came out that she was like, "Yo, the fuck are you doing?"
Fake news,
Oh,
fake
okay.
news, fake news. I trust me, I read that story as well. But after many years, it came out that yeah, they didn't know each other, and he did kiss her, but she wasn't like essayed as
Yeah,
people try to
I didn't
portray it.
say that. I just said like, "Yo, he didn't know her, she didn't know him. He did that." At the end of the day, you just can't go up and just start kissing random motherfuckers, man.
Man, tell me when you were a little kid, you didn't do dumb shit like that.
That was an adult, and first of all, new.
I mean, was he really an adult though? I mean, the mind isn't developed now until you're what's the word?
25.
25, right? So, dog. But I don't know. I think that Biden would have probably done the same thing like you were saying. I just don't think he would have been as charismatic about it and manly. And let's be
Well,
real. Let me say something here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna die. Okay, you know what? Go ahead and do your thing because I got a conspiracy I got to go into real quick.
well, here's the deal, man. Trump is all about optics. We know this. He said so himself. He is all about optics. With him, it was something. Trump is he's a want to be strong man. So what other way to show that you are a strong man than after taking a graze in the ear, then pumping your fist in the air and acting big and bad? What
I
you're
get it.
doing, you are trying to show the other strong man that you respect, Kim Jong Un,
Mhm.
Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, that you're a tough guy too. You respect them for being tough guys, and now y'all can talk on the tough guy level.
I mean, hey, you gotta look. Okay, I feel what you're saying there, but at the same time, we do need that. I mean, don't we? When you were an NCO, didn't you have to project a certain commanding aura? Like some people it comes naturally, having that persona, like that commanding presence. You know what I mean? Others you end up developing it through time. And some people just don't have it, but they have to portray it. You know what I mean? Especially if not, you're going to be a weak ass NCO, right? So I think that that's what he's trying to do as well. If that's what I honestly just see him as a motherfucker that got blasted. Reality, I want to hear what he has to say tonight. To be honest, because at the end of the day, I trip out on how a lot of the mainstream media how MSNBC has been making it sound like oh, he only got grazed in the ear. Bitch, did you get shot? You know what I'm saying? And Gary Rowland, nah, man, he couldn't make it. It looks like he had a bit of probably something popped up, I'm guessing. So it's all good. We're gonna have a discussion here. And feel free to chime in anytime you want, brother. If you want to go ahead and chime in with any questions. Right now, we're just having a quick conversation for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it. All right. We're gonna have a couple of words, but right now I want to jump into a very quick conspiracy theory. All right. Joe Biden is getting his ass kicked again by the Rona.
Yeah.
Now, here's my theory on that. He's trying to bow out of the race and save face. because he said that the only way he would quit or stop is if medically he was told he couldn't do it anymore.
Well, he did
What?
say
But
if his advisors told him that it wasn't a path, it wasn't a viable path, and they
he
told him.
still, but he still believed that there was a path. Until even Pelosi told him today, and he was adamant that he was still going to keep doing it. But what I'm saying is, in order for him to make it seem like there was still a path, but my health, due to my doctors saying I can't continue anymore, I'm going to go ahead and bow out. You see what I'm saying? So that way it doesn't seem like he was being forced to do it by
Possibly.
by his pot. I think that that's the way he's doing this to save face, simply because I just know how people in authority or in power like to save face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on, honestly. And if so, I mean, fine. Just call it a day. And again, it's not out of a dislike or disdain for him. It's out of a more feeling sorry for him. Let him enjoy his last years of life,
Yeah. I
whatever he
think
has
that
left.
what should happen, I think with both of the candidates, what needs to happen, we need to get them some rocking chairs. We need to get them a front porch. We need to get them some lemonade. And we need to get them a sunset. And they need to drink that lemonade and watch their grandkids play while they're sitting on the porch in their rocking chairs and enjoy their fucking life. The
Mm-hmm.
78-year-old man, 81-year-old man.
100%.
Enjoy your fucking life. Stop worrying about fucking. I'm the only one that can make America great. I'm the only one that can do this. No, the fuck you're not.
You
Neither
know,
one.
every year we hear the same thing. Every year we hear the same thing that I'm the only person that can make America best and blah blah blah. All right, Gary says somebody tried to tell me that Joe Biden we see on TV is a clone or someone in a mask or some shit like that. Haha. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. There have been a lot of theories of people saying stuff like that he might be a clone. I don't know
Well,
how true it is. I mean, I
well,
don't. He's there's a lot of clones of everybody out there, you know.
well, this is the problem too. This is the main reason why Joe Biden is not going to be willing to bow the fuck out is
Mm,
because of what happened in 2016. Joe Biden still has anger and resentment for the fact that Obama was still pushing Hillary instead of pushing him to run in
mm.
2016. So Biden has that resentment and he has that little bitterness and that hatred in his heart. And that right there is keeping him from just bowing the fuck out. He still has resentment for it. It is what the fuck it is. It's the truth.
I mean, I guess it could be. I don't remember Biden even having an itch to want to be president in 2016.
He did.
Well, but then again, the Hillary machine being what it was, like
Yeah,
she
they bailed
wanted to
out the
break
Kennedy.
that ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
now
either
it looks
way,
like Kamala might break the ceiling, which
mm,
I think stylistically is going to be horrible for Trump because it's like, bro, do you know how, like, you can come after Joe, you can this and the third, but we know how the environment is today. Like, are you really wanting to, like, Trump is stupid, but Trump is not that stupid. He has his finger on the pulse of America. He really does. So he'll know what to say. He'll skirt up to that line of just some fucked up shit, to the most extreme fucked up shit, but he won't pass it. He'll say some extremely fucked up shit. But can you honestly see him trying to go against a half black woman?
anything that he says will be considered racist
That's why I
or
said, like, stylistically, it's going to be horrible for him.
yep. Because anything that if there was a minority up there
Exactly, Gary.
or
It's stupid as
female
fuck.
anybody who's up there, if they are a straight white male, it's over. They're gonna be looked at as bullying and being racist or misogynist. That's just unfortunately the way the world works. That if you are anything other than a straight white male, you can talk shit all you want. But if you're a straight white male and you have an opinion that is not politically correct per se, you will automatically be labeled or categorized as either homophobic, xenophobic, racist, all that shit.
No, I think
So,
it's more in the delivery. That's why it's like that. And this
and
is
no matter
coming
how
from
you
somebody.
deliver it, Hunt, it's going to
No,
be about the person how they want to interpret it.
that's the thing. I think it's about the delivery. Remember how many times people have told me, you yourself told me, not so much word, not in the exact words, I need to work on my delivery, but you've
Hmm.
told me, like, yo, your tact is off, man. Like, kind of see what you're saying, but your tact is off. So for somebody that knows my tact
Yeah.
is off, like that's the problem.
Right.
Those guys are not effective communicators, and they don't know how to get their message across
I
effectively.
can understand that. I can understand that. But there are some people that no matter how you deliver the message to them, they're gonna listen to it with ears with selective hearing. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, Kramer? Glad you're in here, man. What do you got to say? What's up, Chief? And remember, it is Trump. He don't care on what he says at times. No, he doesn't, and I'm okay with that. You know, and look, let's be honest. The one thing that everybody dislikes about what he said was that he said grab him by the cooch. That's the biggest thing that they have on him. Other than that, what? You know, because he called out people and clowned on them. Think about it like this. When you're about to have a boxing match, for example, not you yourself, but for example, when there's going to be a boxing match going on, what do both competitors do to each other in order to build up the hype? In order to, they go in there and they trash talk each other. Now, just put that into political sphere. Think about how Mike Tyson used to say what he would do to certain people and what he would make them. You know, well, that's Donald Trump, but in political ways. And
Well,
I'm just thinking about it, like that's what you do when you trash talk, bro. And I get it. The American public was not ready for something like that because we've always been looking for someone that we categorize as presidential. All right. And he doesn't fit that form. And anywho, in 2 minutes, Hunt, in 2 minutes, tell me why. You know what? In 2 minutes, I had something on here. It said, "Give me all right 2 minutes to do your intro and why you think Biden is the best choice."
okay, so for y'all that don't know me, y'all should know me right now. My name is Lee Hunt. I was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be at shit talking. Like, but no, man. So regular was a artillery guy, section chief, bullock instructor. Was able to be the gunnery sergeant, and then spent maybe like I think 2-3 weeks as a gunnery sergeant. First sergeant was like, "Fuck that, you got to be the platoon sergeant." So that's a little bit about my background. The greatest duty station in the world is 101st Airborne Division Air Assault. Right? It's not about it. It is what it is. Now, so as far as this goes, right? I think that Biden is more of a viable candidate because we have to understand when it comes to a world stage, right? It's just not about us projecting power. It's about our influence that we have. It's about strategic partnership that we have, right? And some of that strategic partnership is to combat Russia. I understand that the USSR is no more and it's only the Russian Confederation, right? I understand that. But we can also see, like, even under Obama's administration, what Russia did. We can see that when George Bush was leaving office, what he was doing as far as like attacking Georgia. And then, like I said, under Obama, we can see the annexation of Crimea. You have a president that is a potential president that says he's going to pull out one of the strongest alliances there is of all time of NATO. And I got how he says they're not doing this, they're not doing that. But what people need to do, they need to go back and check and see, okay, yes, over the last few years, after Trump was president, NATO has been meeting. The majority of NATO allies have been meeting their 2% GDP gross annual income into NATO like they were supposed to be doing, right? So our strategic partnership is still meant to be across the world. You can effectively, like Churchill said, what was it, Churchill or was it Eisenhower? You walk soft, but you carry a big stick. You know what I'm saying? So that's my counter to the strong man
Roosevelt.
theory. It was Eisenhower?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt? Okay, yeah, the other. But yeah, so it's easy to do that. We can do that. We can walk softly and carry a big stick. We don't have to be the strong man beating on our chest. We know we have the best military on the fucking earth. That is our stick that no one wants to fuck with. We have the best military there is. I don't care what anybody says. We have the most dedicated soldiers there are, the most professional non-commissioned officers there are, some of the most dedicated leaders, officers there are, right? We have them in our military. And despite of what president is going on, they understand that this isn't about the president. It's about the United States and upholding the Constitution. And for those that deployed, You think about it like this. There's so many Afghanistan veterans that are pissed off with the whole leaving behind our allies, right? They understand what it's like to have that allyship, that partnership. And those people are still going to want to have that strategic partnership, that allies with all these other countries. And with that, I do yield my time. I went over 2 minutes.
Oh yeah. You went straight on to CPT on that one. For
Yeah.
those that don't know what that is, y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? he extended that shit.
Yeah.
No,
To the
and that's
left.
cool. I get that, man. Real quick, I agree. I'm just saying whether it is Trump or any politician, people will scrutinize and selectively hear what's said. Roland says, and that was locker room talk. Let's get real here. He was in the presence of somebody he felt the need to impress and sit some wild shit. He ain't going around grabbing porn stars by the vajayjay.
Well, that's the thing. No, we can't say that because he has already been found guilty of assault on Eugene Carroll. That's number one.
First of
Number
all,
two.
go ahead.
Number two. This is the most important thing. You got to not only be the part, you have to look the part. Not you don't have to just look the part. You have to be the part. Plain and simple. Like
Yeah.
there's all different type of things that are brought up with presidents, right? Look at even the accusations with Bill Clinton with the other chick with the huge nose before Monica Lewinsky, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were those accusations that people were saying he is not presidential. This is not something that a president of the United States should be doing. There's no reason why we should have a president of the United States with these accusations.
All right. Quick question. Was he found criminally liable for it?
Yes, Trump, he was for the sexual assault of Eugene Carroll.
Not criminally. He'd be in prison right now.
Okay, so he was found liable for, was it defamation? I don't think it was defamation, but he was found liable for
it. Was a civil suit. It was civil.
Okay, civil suit. You're
okay.
Right. And listen, I understand.
It was. And here's the thing. OJ was found not guilty by a jury of his peers criminally.
Mm-hmm.
But they went on him civilly. Okay. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
I understand.
And let's not pretend, but let's not sit here and pretend that was a fucking fair trial on Trump. You know what I'm saying? Let's not sit here and pretend like, he really walked up to that lady. That lady just looking for dough. Let's be honest. The fool could have, as ugly as that motherfucker is, he got the ducats to get any broad he wants. You think did you see what that lady did like back in the day? I hate to say it. I am that shallow as a motherfucking puddle, but
well,
she
we know
was not the best
thing. Got the money to get any woman he wants. That's why he paid Stormy off.
See, whatever business transaction they had within each other, that's between them. Even Stormy said, I don't know why they're calling it the hush money trial. You know what I'm saying? It's falsification or some shit. And again, it's such a reach that people are trying to fucking take this man down so badly, And again, and this falls into, to me, why what happened over the weekend was definitely something plotted by the left and the right, the deep state, if you will. Bro, they've tried taking him down
financially.
They tried taking him down in court. Now they try taking him down. They know he's going to win the politics. Politically, he's going to win. So what's the best other way? Take one. You know what I'm saying?
Tate. Andrew Tate.
Bro, what about Andrew Tate?
That's exactly what he was talking about too.
Oh, well, Andrew Tate has a great mind. Me and him are definitely eye to eye. Because I sure as hell have not seen that. I thought that fool was still in jail in Romania. But all right, so let's get to it, man. Look, I was going to give 2 minutes as to why I feel that my candidate, which is I am a Trump supporter. All right, I will say this. I am a Trump supporter. Full disclosure. Let me give you a little bit about myself for those that don't know me, who's watching. All right, my name is Danny Lopez. I am 46 years old, originally from Los Angeles, California, and I grew up as a Democrat. In 2000 and shit. When did Obama become president?
2008. He was
2008ish.
Well, he was sworn in 2009, but he got elected.
Okay. So in 2008, 2008 was when I went ahead and started breaking away from the party after Obama got elected, because what really turned me off was 2 years in, he was still blaming Bush. And I disagree with always pointing back. I'm sorry. I know me and Hunt have had this discussion many a times, but you can only blame somebody for your inaction for so long. I give them 2 years. 2 years. After 2 years, if you haven't taken responsibility for the actions that are going on, That's on you, Chief. But anywho, that's when I started breaking away, and I got tired of it. I became more of an independent. That's what I like. I don't want to put myself in a box. It just happens to be that I'm center right. I grew up Democrat though because in my neighborhood where I grew up, that's what everybody was. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I voted. First person I voted for, first president, Clinton. So yeah, I believed in that man. But anywho, yeah. So why is Trump better than Biden? First of all, he is cognizant of what's going on. He knows what's going on around him. He's not shaking hands with ghosts. He's not falling downstairs multiple times, and he is not a career politician. So there's a lot of there are a lot of skeletons in Joe Biden's closet. A lot of things that he's sure still has hidden that we don't know about, and also he's just not fit to be president anymore, man. I don't agree with the left's ideology. He's just another puppet in a suit that is just following the left's agenda, which honestly is not one I agree with, because the agenda that the left at one time had is not ideal for the U.S. And so at this point in time, I side with Trump, who I don't believe is bought by the lobbyists, who is not, he goes against the grain. Does he have faults? Of course he does. There's many faults in him that I dislike. I'll give you one right now. The fact that he talks a lot of crap about, for example, military personnel. Not something I dig. But at the same time, especially being a veteran, I I still, regardless of his rhetoric, I saw that during the 4 years that he was in presidency, except for the last one, everything seemed to be going straight. He had the Abraham Accords going on between Saudi and between the Arabs, I guess you could say, and Israel. He had NATO finally paying their dues, and catching up on what they owe, which was saving money in our pockets. Ukraine was still in decent shape, and Russia was still being held back. So, as much as people say that he's unhinged and uncontrollable, his tactics were working. All right, his methods of doing things, while they are, how do people say, unorthodox, or they're uncommon, but they work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes what we think is right isn't. And whether I agree 100% with what he says, I don't, but I agree more with his shit than Biden's. So thank y'all for coming here to this discussion of Biden and Hunt with Lolo. And wait, Biden and Hunt, Biden and Trump.
Damn, are you shaking hands with ghosts? Then you had audacity to talk about fucking Biden?
Hey, damn, Zelensky and Putin.
Yeah. Goddamn, man, how you gonna talk about my man Joe Biden and you over here talking about him debating the motherfucker?
No, it's not over. Hey, Avalos, it's not over, baby. It's not over. We just barely started right now, dog. Let's see.
I will push back with you on something that you said.
Go ahead, pimp.
Because Trump did blame Obama the whole 4 years he was in office.
Did he though?
The whole 4 years. All he kept doing was talk about the Obama administration. Obama fucked this up. Obama fucked that up. When this is the main thing. This is something else that I do not like when it comes to Trump, because we can see a lot of people that work directly with him who are lifelong and still to this day say, I am a lifelong Republican. I was working within the Trump administration, right? And they're like, they had to give Trump these briefings, the daily briefings. And they're like, this dude just doesn't get it. You have Annie Jacobs' book, for God's sakes. Mm-hmm. Did you see her interview with SRS? Mm-hmm. So you seen her interview with SRS?
No, I haven't seen that one. I saw her with Lex Friedman. But you know what else I have? I have this book here. And what does it say at the bottom?
For the love of country, leave the Democratic Party behind. Tulsi Gabbard. Oh my God. I almost
my girl, Tulsi. All right.
With Annie Jacobs, if you have time and you see her thing with the SRS show, mm-hmm. She actually talks about it. She talks about how like, yo, her biggest fear, because remember, she's an investigative reporter. She get access to Stratcom commanders. She got access to Leon Panetta. She got
Hmm.
access to a lot of people.
She
And she
is
never says how she votes. She's like, it doesn't matter how I vote. That's not it. But she talks
right.
about the rhetoric alone and how that was something that everybody should fear
Hmm.
because 36 minutes should put fear in anybody's heart. We've been on here for 30 minutes. Do you
Hmm.
realize in that 30 minutes, somebody could have launched and anybody, there's not
Hmm.
nuclear countries. And when we have a president that is talking about, I have a red button, fire and fury, all this shit, that rhetoric is raising the temperature for there to be a mishap.
I mean, is um a mishap is tripping and falling like on a fucking water hose. Fucking launching a nuclear weapon is not a mishap, all right?
It's the
You don't
purpose.
just accidentally trip, fall, and
Oops.
slap two buttons. It don't happen quite like that. But I see what you're saying, man. But it's up there with the rhetoric that fucking Putin has with Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? However, I really doubt that it would really come to that. Honestly, I don't see anybody launching any of that because they will know that for that there's going to be no world left the moment that first nuclear bomb leaves. There's no more world. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, do you know what I respond? Before I go off on this next question to go off on a
Sure.
tangent, I want everybody to understand this. Our response, if North Korea were to launch one missile, we are launching 82 at them. That is the doctrine that we have that is going to be followed. We're not just doing a one for one trade.
Oh
There
yeah.
are 82 fucking ICBMs coming, either ICBMs or the submarine launched ballistic missiles that are headed toward North Korea.
So with that, again, first of all, North Korea has to have a missile that's even capable of fucking sending a nuclear warhead over towards us. I mean, that motherfucker could barely make it across their own little fucking
Their farm.
peninsula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's a
So
good question.
go ahead.
As far as like, and this is going back to Biden and Trump, okay?
Hmm.
And this is for everybody too that's out there in the audience. If we believe what the people that actually know what they're talking about, right? The lifelong statisticians, the lifelong people that are in these bureaucratic, positions, they're saying that, hey, listen, China in the next what, 6 years? They're giving it 6 years, maybe 6 years within that window for China to attack Taiwan. Now, what do y'all think the response is going to be if Trump is there and China goes ahead and does this, or Biden is there and China go ahead and does it? China wants Taiwan. So, what do y'all guys think the response is going to be? Either way you look at it, we're going to get dragged into a war. Now, will people say that? Oh, listen, there's no wars on the Trump anymore. Well, or will they do like they did when Obama said, "Hey, listen, I'll go meet Kim Jong Un. This is the worst thing in the world. How dare an American president say he wants to go meet the leader of North Korea? Yeah,
Hmm.
I'll go meet him." Trump actually stepped foot in North Korea. This was so courageous. This is the bravest thing. This looks like American strength and unity. What is going to be the narrative?
Everybody's going to spin it to their own fucking agenda. So Abalo said all administrations blame other administrations, no matter what years that you want to talk about, 100%. But the reason I was saying that was because what drove me away from the Democrat Party was because all I kept hearing was all the goddamn time, Obama blaming Bush. Maybe it's because I had a soft spot for Bush. I dug Bush. He wasn't the smartest, most articulate, but he loved him some soldiers. So let's see. This is Gary saying, imagine having to explain you spilled your coffee on the desk and the missiles just launched.
Oops, my bad.
Whoops.
But Kim Jong is
Kim
probably like a dictator.
Kim Kong is probably the dictator from that movie. Make the missile look pointy. It's scarier.
Yeah, the dictator. Yeah,
Uh,
the movie Dictator. Yeah, that's how Elon Musk got his idea for the big fucking starship thing.
oh, he said he meant Kim
Kim
Jong.
Jong. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't sound fucking any kind of racist right there, Kim Kong King. It's all gravy, baby. But no,
Just
all
say
right.
some
I mean,
simple
sticking
thing,
to the
man.
foreign policy topic that we're talking about. So Taiwan. Let's say Taiwan does get
Invade.
annexed or invaded by China. Honestly, you want my honest opinion? I'll tell you, I don't give a fuck. They have nothing to do with us. They're their own country. But I mean, if we need to send allies or anything out there, um, it's none of our business. Honestly, it really isn't. I don't believe that we should be partaking in any of these.
Global conflicts.
Not just that, but our problem is that we don't just go in there to support somebody. We go in there and then try to fucking topple their government and try to rebuild it. So the regime,
Change.
yes, and that's what I hate about it. Like it's not our business. Like look at us. We try to go into Afghanistan and change thousands of years of fucking of the way they lived. You know what I mean? And granted, whoever pulled this out was gonna have a tough time. You know what I mean? But the way it was done, I think, was the hardest pill to swallow. And I don't know if you watched the RNC last night. It
No,
was
because that's propaganda. Listen, I refuse to do that because right now,
hold
the
on.
RNC use the deaths as propaganda. Those soldiers' deaths as propaganda. I know if I was active, I wouldn't want my family member to go on no Democratic platform and talk about my son, this, that, and the third. Don't use my death for your political points of view. That's
So
stupid.
at what point is it propaganda, or is it because the families maybe did want to speak out?
Okay, so the families have every right to speak out. And this is what I want everybody to realize. What happened at Abbey Gate was a tragedy. Make no mistake about it. What happened at Abbey Gate was a tragedy. There were 11 Marines that lost their lives. There was one soldier that lost his life. There was one sailor that lost their lives, right? Making up the 13. So I really kind of hate when people say there were 13 soldiers that lost their lives. No, it wasn't. It was 20.
Civilians don't know any better.
I know, but still. So it's a tragedy. It was a travesty. Not taken away. Those families have every right to be there. I just I just see that as the RNC using their pain as a pawn. What I think should have happened was that those families, Joe Biden should have constantly invited those families to the White House to talk to him, so he could have gave them the full debriefing. So that way, it would be no misunderstanding. It was incumbent upon Joe Biden to invite every last single one of those 13 family members to the White House and sit down and talk to them, especially with something sensitive like that withdrawal, to talk to them and say, hey, listen, this is what happened. This is where we fucked up at. Your service member's life was not in vain.
But here's the problem, Hunt. He doesn't even remember it happening. Remember? He said nobody's died under his watch. He said that during the debate. So Roland wants to know why is it that China is so obsessed with Taiwan? It's the trade route or something like that. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not going to sit
Well,
here and pretend I know.
so China is just obsessed with expanding their sphere of influence altogether, right? And they see Taiwan. I guess Taiwan used to belong to them at one point in time, and then it broke off. Yeah, the
So,
DNC is going to do propaganda too, man. And one of the biggest things that if I was in charge of the DNC, what I would do, and then I'm gonna get back to Taiwan. I'm sorry. I'm
no, you're
sorry for
good.
keep rambling. Right? If I was in charge of the DNC, what I would do, I would take. I forgot the young soldier's name. He was a sergeant. He was a sergeant E5. He was with the special forces guys that died in Africa under Trump's watch, right?
Mhm.
And the widow came on TV and she told the reporters exactly what Trump told her. And that was, oh, well, he knew what he signed up for. And so if I was the DNC, I would use that as a propaganda to be like, he didn't console me whatsoever. He just said that my husband knew what he signed up for. And
So,
then I
go
would
ahead.
go, and then I would hearken. I'll say this and I'll finish. I would hearken it back to what he said when he was talking about John McCain, because this should piss every fucking service member off, every current or former service member. When he said John McCain is not a hero because he got captured. He said John
He
McCain is
got
a
shot
hero
down.
because he got captured. He said, I like my heroes not captured. That is a spit in the face to
I feel
every
you.
fucking POW, especially them Vietnam veterans, especially the
Mhm.
Korean, the World War II. When you talk about, oh, he's only a hero because he got captured, and you like your heroes that aren't captured, those POWs that were in the Hanoi Hilton, how dare you say that they're not heroes?
I feel you. I feel you. Again, I'm not one that loves this rhetoric. Trust me. I feel you on that. But I'm going back to play devil's advocate with him talking to that one lady that her husband knew what he signed up for. Did he really say it like he knew what he signed up for? or was it more like, I'm sorry for your loss, but ultimately he probably died what he loved doing. He knew what he signed up for. He knew it was a possibility that was going to happen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're
making excuses.
I'm not making excuses. What I'm saying is, it's how was it? Remember, we were talking earlier. How was it delivered?
The
How was it
delivery is
delivered?
how she said. So why is it that we
So
can't
you're gonna,
take her? Why is
you
it
don't
that we
think that?
can't take her word? For
I'm
example,
not
like
saying we can't. I'm just saying we can't take anybody's word nowadays. We can't. I don't even know who this lady is. I don't know her. Maybe she's a fucking Trump hater. I don't know. Oh, don't give me that look, bro. Don't give
heaven
me that
forbid,
fucking look.
heaven forbid somebody that's like, hey, listen, this is what happened. Oh, it's only because you're a Trump hater. You
So
don't
are you
like
gonna tell
Trump.
me that it doesn't sound uncharacteristic for him though? It just
It's
sounds
something.
uncharacteristic.
It's exactly something he would say. Should he have said it? Fuck no. John Kelly, former four-star general of the Marines, right? He was like a part of the Joint Chief of Staff. Was his what does that do? Chief of Staff at one point in time was telling people how he was talking about those people that. So we can't believe this four-star general who Trump personally said, "I want you to be my chief of staff. I
Mm-hmm.
think you're the best. You're a Marine general. You're coming to work for me. I'm picking you." So somebody that Trump picked, somebody that voted for Trump, who was not a Trump hater, is
Right.
saying, "Hey, listen, this motherfucker was talking about people that lost their lives during D-Day were suckers and losers."
So again, I've heard multiple variations of this. So that's why I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know what exactly was said or what exactly was written. Because as we all know, I am somebody that goes off of what I hear. That's my word on the streets type shit. So I don't know if he said that. I doubt he would have said that. You know what I'm saying? I really doubt that he would have said that. Um, Go ahead. Go ahead. So Hunt's got to go do something real quick. He'll be right back. Context matters, but I feel that there are some things you don't say out loud. This is one of those things. Oh, brother. But you know what? We always say everything out loud, man. And you know what? Again, yeah, though definitely he shouldn't have said that shit about McCain. Definitely he shouldn't have said that. I mean, that's a bad look on him.
Yo, my bad, man.
I'm not going to defend that in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? There's no way I'm defending that whatsoever because I heard him say it, and so that I can agree with Hunt because I heard him say it. I heard the context it was in. Now, if it was like that other stuff about what he said about D-Day and stuff like that, I don't know because I wasn't there, man. And unless I'm there, unless it's on record that I hear it, I'm sorry, I don't believe anything anyone says nowadays. It's hard. Even your own people that you trust will be the ones that'll be lying to you. On the gun line, we do, but most of our families aren't on the gun line like we are. Yeah, you're right about that. We always say shit that's on our mind without having to think about being out loud. All right, we're gonna stick to foreign policy here. Let's talk Ukraine. Let's talk Ukraine. All right. We talked Thailand. If anybody knows again why Thailand is so important, let us know. Let's see. Abalos. Abalos is just like it is believed that he said it. It was also believed it was said. Suckers and losers statement. Okay, just like it is believed that he said it. It is also believed that was said. Okay, you know what? My reading levels are very elementary. I'm guessing. I'm just not understanding that
No,
statement. Do you understand?
I think I understand what he's trying to say.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that statement there, Abalos. But yeah, I think I know where you're getting at. So, but Ukraine. How? Oh, he didn't say it. My bad. Oh no, you good, dog. You good. Hey man, there's a reason that all of us in here we're in 13 series pretty much. So, but Ukraine, man. Do you think? What do you think is going to? Let's say, for example, by some miracle, Biden wins the presidency. Why would he be better to solve the issue in Ukraine than Trump?
The reason why I think it would be, I think Trump would be more inclined to one, completely stop giving aid to Ukraine, and then that way, what's going to happen is Russia is going to go ahead and take all the land that they want from Ukraine. The reason why I think this is a bad idea is because what in the 90s or whatever, Ukraine decided to give up their nuclear weapons as far as like, hey, listen, we understand y'all not going to come in and invade. I'm paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So no one say this is exactly what they say.
Right.
Ukraine decided to give up their nuclear weapons, right, for security guarantees.
Mhm.
Nuclear weapons, bro. I'm from Texas. Fuck it. If Bush can't say the word right, fuck it. And we're from the same part of West Texas, so fuck it. Nuclear proliferation is a fucking $18 word. All right, but so if there was an agreement that was signed to say, hey, you have certain securities and guarantees, right?
Mhm.
And then it was broken, and now they're having land annexed, and we know that there's going to be more land that's annexed, then we need to stop that. Russia, I got it. NATO was designed to stop the USSR, right? And the USSR is no more. It's the Russian Federation. Putin wants to have the USSR back. He wants all that land back. He's not going to stop in Ukraine. The Baltics are next. We have no choice but to stop him and keep him in check right now. Trump is not going to do that. Trump's going to let him roll over and do what the fuck he wants to roll over Ukraine. Ukraine will be completely annexed. Zelensky is going to have his head on a spike somewhere.
I think that's a little bit of reach. I do believe that in order to get this conflict to end, it's going to take getting down, negotiating that. Hey, Trump. I mean, not hey Trump. Hey, Putin. Hey, Zelensky. Check it. Here's what's going to happen. This is what needs to happen. Putin, you can keep up to this portion here, and that's it. Just hear me out. I heard you out. I heard you
Yeah.
out. Putin, you keep up to this portion that was up to here. No more fucking beefs between y'all. I don't want to hear no more of this shit, or else it's gonna be with us. It's gonna be with us. They're not gonna be part of NATO, but part of this treaty is gonna be that if you fuck with them, you fuck with us. All right. Second, um, let them go. Let them be. The only way that it's gonna stop is gonna be that way. They're gonna have to give up that part that's already occupied by them. Honestly, because Ukraine is not going to win this fucking battle. It's not going to win. No way in hell. With and I do hope that we stop fucking funding them. It's not our business. It's not our fucking business. I'll put it again. We have our own issues here in America that we need to deal with. We need to deal with Americans first. Trump 2024. But no, I mean, he was gonna do it already. Zelensky was gonna do it already. He was gonna fucking sign a treaty with Putin. But what happened? Somebody else interfered and said, "No, man, don't sign that shit. We got your back." And now we're fucking stuck there. It's a waste of fucking time, a waste of money, and people ain't gonna care until we start sending soldiers out there to start fucking bleeding American blood.
And that's why we need to keep sending them equipment so there is no American blood. And now on top
Fuck
of
that.
this, real quick,
Mhm.
you said that you would say that you would say, hey, listen, you're gonna keep this part, right? I'm
Mhm.
paraphrasing what you said.
Right, right.
Can you imagine what would happen if Mexico decided to say, you know what, El Paso, we want you back. We are gonna come fucking take El Paso back. Could you think that in any way, shape, form, or fashion, any American would say, well, we're just gonna, would you, the ICC, the international, whatever the fuck, do you honestly see not even international people, even Americans saying, okay, Mexico, we're just gonna let you come in here and take El Paso back? Fuck no. As Americans, we ain't doing that shit. What did the Chinese say? Behind every blade of grass, there's a what? Exactly. We would not allow anybody to annex anything in America. If Mexico was to say, you know what, fuck that shit, that peace treaty we signed, we're taking fucking El Paso back. Deal with it. This shit ain't happening. So
It
why?
wouldn't happen, but it wouldn't happen first of all because most of the people in El Paso, I'm sure, would want to stay part of the U.S. Those people in the Ukraine or in Ukraine, I'm sorry, in those areas that are already predominantly overtaken, they pretty much speak Russian. They're okay with the Russian traditions because it used to be part of Russia at one time. You know what I mean? So now I'm not saying I'm not saying that is right, but if those motherfuckers want to go back, fuck it, let them keep it.
So
And again, I'm gonna say this one more time though. I'm gonna say this one more time. It's not our fucking business. It's not our fucking business. Let's get the fuck out of Ukraine. Focus on the U.S. Focus on ourselves here.
it's funny you say that, right? Because in Project 2025, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, like, the double speak that happened. We can look at True Social and we can see how Trump actually did endorse Project 2025 until it came out that people started reading the the 921 pages of
Mhm.
Project 2025. And then he was like, no, I don't know anything about this. I'm all about Agenda 47. But Project 2025 is actually hurting American civilians. And when I say civilian, well, I should say American veterans, because
Mhm.
what Project 2025 is talking about doing is making it so, hey, listen, guys, you're only going to get one or the other. You're
Mhm.
only going to get your retirement or your disability. Pick one.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Instead of motherfuckers that did their 20 years, that
Mhm.
earned the right to have their retirement or disability. It's like, yeah, we got to cut these costs.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's not going to affect those of us that are already retired. But who it would affect are motherfuckers that aren't even getting a retirement anymore. They don't even
Exactly.
retire out the military anymore. You know what happens when they get out? They don't get their retirement check anymore. They get a fucking 401k. That's where their shit's getting.
Well, I thought they could opt into it, but I do know I've heard something
No.
about the 401k.
No, that shit turn into a 401k. You might as well just have a TSP the rest of your motherfucking military career. Because that's what the fuck it is. So, and that's why retention is down, because motherfucking military is making stupid ideas like that. And I agree with you. When you start fucking with military pay, you're gonna have a whole sector of the U.S. that is gonna go against your ass. I don't know too much about 2025, Project 2025. I just don't buy into the hype or to the fear mongering, because
Well,
that's what it is to me.
it's not fear mongering because, like, what once again, you're talking about taking people, either right, left, people that are
Mhm.
right and left, right, and saying, hey, listen, you have to pledge allegiance to the president.
Again, that's why we have checks and balances.
No, no,
It's not
no.
something that would happen, bro.
Yes, like you talk about checks and balances. Why do you think they're fighting so hard to keep control of the House? Why do you think
Mhm.
they're fighting so hard to have control of the Senate? So those checks and balances are going to be gone. And then on top of that, we are supposed to everybody swears an oath to the Constitution.
Mhm.
They don't swear an oath to the president.
A hundred
And
percent.
even if it was a Democratic president that was talking about, yeah, we want you to swear an oath to the president, I would be one of the first people up in arms and saying, dictator, no,
You
vote this
would be
man
the
out.
first one, and you wouldn't be alone. Because the moment that anything like that ever came up, we fought a whole other fucking country over shit like that.
But it's happening.
No,
But that is exactly what's happening.
that's fear
People like,
mongering, bro.
yes,
Not
they
happening.
are going to fire 10-year people, right? Despite if they're Democrat, despite if they're Republican. If those people do not want to take an oath to the president, they are getting fired and being replaced with people that are going to take an oath to the president. Keep in mind, Republican and Democrat,
I
that's
get it.
scary.
I get it, but I just don't see it happening. Again, I believe that this is all fear mongering. That's all I see it as. You
It's a
know,
playbook. We know we have
it could
like
be okay. You think the Democrats don't have a playbook like that as well, too? I'm sure they do, bro. It's called hiring those that you want within your company, those that are
no,
going to
no,
be
no.
loyal
You're not
to
understanding.
you.
You're not understanding. So the
I'm
federal
understanding.
employees
Hmm.
cannot get fired because they don't. They're already employees there. They have their tenure. So
Hmm.
say it's people at the FBI that have
Hmm.
tenure, right?
Hmm.
And say they're Republicans,
Hmm.
and those Republicans are like, no, I'm not swearing allegiance to the president. That's
Right.
stupid. They're going to get taken out of their positions and fired. And then they're going to replace them with people that are willing to swear allegiance to the president instead of the
Again
Constitution.
and again, I find that very extreme fear mongering. I don't think that will happen. I think
Fear,
again that this is all fear mongering, bro.
fear
And for
mongering is
people to
like this.
believe that, that's not something that can happen, bro. It can't happen, and it
It can't
won't
happen
happen.
because like our minds keep telling us that no, this is America. That can never happen in this country.
Hmm.
That's why people are like, oh, that's fear mongering. It can never happen. It can happen anywhere. Plain and simple. Do you think the Germans thought that that shit could
Okay.
happen?
Okay, but here's the thing with the Germans. They went ahead and gave up their fucking weapons.
They gave up
I'm
their
just saying.
power. They
I'm just
gave
saying.
up power to one person. Did they not?
Exactly. Do you
And this
think?
is what I'm
Yeah, and
telling
they
you.
gave up their weapons. You
And what
think that
I
we're gonna give up our weapons, bro?
did, okay, so listen, you have your computer there, so you can fact check me, and the people that are in the audience can fact check me too. But Trump did call for people to give up their weapons if there's an investigation going on. He said, "You take the weapons first." This is why he was in office.
And I say again, why if somebody owns a weapon, it's not the government's business to know who has a weapon.
What I'm saying is, if he, the person that everybody loves, can slip this in and everybody brushes it off, like why are we not trying to take these things serious? Well, I'm not saying fearmonger about it, but I'm saying, hey, listen, if we are going to say that the Democrats keep talking about taking your weapons away, taking your weapons away, taking your weapons away, right? So then when we have somebody that's the president that says,
Right.
hey, you take the weapons away, why can't we have that same vitriol, that same
I
attitude?
haven't
We're like,
heard it.
oh, hey.
Honestly, I haven't heard it. And if he did say something like that, yeah, people should be up in arms with it. And should be, again, I don't agree with everything that Trump says. I don't. But I still believe that he's better for our country than what we have in there right now. Now, as far as weapons go, from what I recall, when we were talking about, take the weapons away and investigate them, was for those that were like, supposedly they had like mental issues or they were needed to be investigated. The problem with that is that whose word are you going to take in order to take somebody's shit? You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
disagree with. And that's why I always say it's a slippery fucking slope because then you set a precedent. Once you set a precedent, you're fucked. So
yeah, I will agree.
let's go with continuing with the foreign policy. Let's talk about Israel. Israel. Look,
The
man, I think
same.
this is the one that me and you are eye to eye on. And I'm gonna say this again. I don't give a fuck about what's going on over there. That's between Israel and the Arabs that live there, the Palestinians. You know what I mean? Let them handle their business. It's been going on for thousands of years. And I get it. Biblically, Israel was Jewish land, but before that, look, I don't know. That's thousands of years ago, bro. That's thousands of years ago.
They should get
So
over it. It doesn't matter. They should get over it. Hell, in America, we told we should get over slavery and Jim Crow. So they
I'm
should get over.
serious.
They
I'm
should get
I,
over fucking.
I'm serious, bro. I say we just stay the fuck out of it. It's not our business. But because biblically, that is a holy land to all three major religions. No,
Yeah, you're right. The Christians, the Jews, and the Muslims.
and the Muslims, yeah. So yeah, that's the Holy Land according to all three major religions. I see why there's a lot of defense of it, but again, I mean, it's not our business. And when they say that, what happens in Israel, the Jewish problem is an American problem. I heard that shit yesterday during the RNC, and no, it's not our problem. It really isn't. If you're so up in arms against what's going on over there, look, man, I'm sure the Jews are hiring. You know what I mean?
Listen, they would punch the Jew drill sergeant in his face. Otherwise, they would go over there. So we know
You
how
know,
these motherfuckers are.
yeah, dude. I think it's retarded that we're providing aid. We're basically, well, I mean, honestly, it looked like we were actually starting to hold them accountable for the shit that was happening out there between Israel and Hamas. And just so y'all know, folks, you probably won't see the repeat. I mean, it's going to be on YouTube afterwards and on Facebook afterwards, but more than likely, it's not going to get pushed out because of what we're discussing here. So if you do see it, I appreciate if y'all give me a like, a thumbs up. It's been an hour since we've been in doing this, but we'll continue here. I honestly believe we should stay out of it. There's nothing in it for us, and if we're gonna fucking treat one with favoritism, don't treat it with any of them at all, because you got to treat both of them equally. Make the Jewish state, make the Israeli state, or the Palestinian state, and that's that, man.
You want to hear something funny?
Send it.
So we export X-35s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that every day there has to be a code that's entered for them to use them F-35s? And the code changes every day?
Talk about some motherfucking frequency hop.
Yeah. So that's crazy to think about, right? Every country that we've ever sold F-35s to, they have to get permission to fly them motherfuckers every day. There's a certain code that they have to put in there for them to fly it every day, and the fucking code change. I think the only ones that don't do it, if from what I heard, it was either the British and I was looking at a documentary about it. It was either the British or Israelis, but one of those two, they're the only ones that get full access to the F-35. Everybody else, they have to put in a code every day to fucking operate them F-35s.
You know
and
what?
The code changes.
And I'm telling you, man, that's going to be happening with all these fucking new cars, these Teslas and shit like that. Y'all motherfuckers keep fucking around buying those goddamn electric cars that know everything about you. Guess what's going to happen?
I don't agree with. Listen, we get to domestic policies. That's something I don't agree with. And once again, I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal that loves the 2A. I'm a liberal that loves my fucking Hemi. You know what I'm saying? Don't take my Hemi
Mhm.
away from me. I love a fucking Hemi.
Oh man. Well, let's go move. Let's move on to one more thing before we go to that. Let's talk about the military presence around the world.
Mhm.
And for me, I don't dig it. I don't dig us having a military presence through Europe, through Asia. I think we need to worry about our own. How much money could we save if we were to shut down bases globally? Keep them in certain spots, but not all over. I mean, honestly, if we were to pull up a map, I'm not going to, but if you were to pull up a map about how big our footprint is around the world, it's astonishing, bro. It
Yeah.
really is. And it's money that's being wasted.
Well, I understand. Like, this is the thing, though, man. I'm on the fence with it because I definitely understand your point, and I agree with you. But at the same time, it's about that projection of strength and knowing that if need be, because we got, not only do we have bases everywhere, so we got them stockpiles everywhere too. If something pops off, we can, hey, okay, Kuwait, hey, listen, some shit's popping off in Iraq, not well, either in Iraq or Israel or in the Middle
Mm-hmm.
East. We got stockpiles in Kuwait. Hey, listen, there's going to be the supply route here, 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 and here. The one thing that America does better than anybody else too is, like I keep saying, man, I have so much love for America's military, and I'm biased about it because, one, I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge biased. I think the best soldier in the world is the 13 Bravo.
Fuck yeah.
The best fighting man in the fucking world in America's armed forces is the 13 Bravo. I don't give a fuck about no Marine.
Mm-mm.
No disrespect. I don't care about no sailor.
Full
No,
disrespect.
it is the 13 Bravo. It's not even the 11 Bravo. The
Mm-hmm.
13 Bravo is the best, hands fucking down. I do think that it is because there's always that potential for the next war. So we have to be ready, right? Because we don't know what these motherfuckers are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe we do need a footprint, but I also believe we still need to take care of our own. There has to be some kind of footprint. And world, like you
So,
said, world police at its service, it comes with a price. To
but
be
see,
the
here's the
best, you got to
thing.
beat the best.
Hey, what's going on, Zane? Welcome to the chat, brother. We just over here, chatting it up, talking some political crap that'll, just giving our points of views. So here's my issue with being the world police, man. We get taken advantage of. Not only that it's too much of a possibility for corruption. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you seen it in
I
what?
seen, I seen it in Iraq.
I
The
was
corruption.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Are we picking up the same thing when we seen it in Iraq on certain deployment?
Mm-hmm. 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 So I'm just saying, corruption was there. So, but I mean, so here's the thing.
55th Street.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see. He wants to know what is y'all's opinion on fracking.
Uh, Listen, man. I think fracking. I think that we should listen. Here's the deal. Once again, full disclosure. I am a liberal. I think that on certain land we should drill here. And Biden also, y'all can fact check me in real time. Biden, he allowed more grants or more permits to drill here in America than Trump did. I think that we should drill here. I don't think it should be on protected land. I think that people have to understand that. So when we say that, right, the Keystone XL portion of the Keystone pipeline was shut off. It was taken away. The Keystone pipeline itself is still running. The XL portion, because it ran through protected land. So that I can understand. But I do think that we should drill here. Not too much a fan of fracking, but drill, I think we should have our own energy.
Um, let's see. Oh, here we go. You beat me to it, Avalos. But those permits got really expensive for fracking. As far as the permits that Biden was that you were talking about for Biden stuff, there
Mhm.
was a lot of fucking hoops that people had to jump through, and it was only in certain areas that it was allowed to be done. Why not a fan of fracking?
I think that I know fracking has been going on for years now. I think there's a potential for, um, the pollution to seep in, and I don't. And I once again, y'all forgive me, liberal. Even though I agree with drilling, I think that there's a better. We haven't came up with a better way to dispose of some of the stuff that's going on. I mean, in Oklahoma, back about 10 years ago, when they were really fracking heavily, they were having like minor earthquakes every so often. So I'm like, Hey, this is exactly that's where I was going with Gary. Like, listen, like, hey, so how about we do a little bit more studying on this? We can still do a little bit of fracking, but we still need to do more studying on this. Let's drill. Drilling has been something that's been there. So let's drill. But the fracking, hey, let's kind of
Spinal said he fracks his neighbor sometimes.
hey man, you got to get it in where you get it in,
You
brother.
got to get it, baby.
But hey,
All
thank you
right.
for joining this conversation and
Yes,
having
sir.
your input in here, man. Lopez really appreciates it. I appreciate it too, man. But like the purpose here is for us to have this. Lopez has got this platform for us to do this. He's taking time out of his day, so we need to show him love, get these chat interactions going, get them likes going, get them subscribes going. Tell your friends about this so they can come in here and have a discussion with people that are talking like adults and
Yeah.
not hating each other.
Yes, sir. All right. So earthquakes are not caused by because of fracking. And then he says, I work in the ONG industry, so I'm just curious of the opinions. Honestly, as far as fracking goes, hey man, it creates American jobs, right? And it's helping our economy with our fuels. So I'm all for it, baby.
I'm all about the oil and gas industry too. I am. I'm,
Oh,
I'm from West Texas. I'm
oh.
from Odessa. I'm all about the oil and gas industry. I went home 2 months ago and seen like how it was.
Hmm.
I'm all about it. We have to. There's no way the greatest nation on earth, can't come up with something to
Yeah,
where
no
we.
doubt. Avalos, thanks for being up in here, big dog. I mean, I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah,
Let's
there's no way we
see.
can't come up with safer things to help out. Because if we're coming up with those safer things, guess what else we're doing? We're
Hmm.
creating more jobs for people to do the R&D about this stuff. And then we're creating more jobs to have the implementation of the hard work that those people did for the R&D.
Hmm. What the fuck is R&D?
Research and development.
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers be talking this shit out. See, R&D, I started thinking about fucking like
Rear
that
detachment.
shit. That's weird. D. No, but R&D was wasn't that some shit that had to do with like the fucking maintenance in the barracks?
R&D. Something
So,
like that. What was that thing called? Was it R&D? I think it was something like that because old Nick was
yeah.
in charge of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it sounds like when I hear R&D, I'm like, I'm thinking about maintenance and shit. I feel you, Abalos. Thanks for being here, man. I mean, hopefully, you're not drilling into the wrong locations right now because you're
Yeah.
over here engaging with us. So yeah, back as far as to the military presence, I think we need to shut down a lot of the bases that are out there, though. That fool said, I've always said I'm thinking about R&R. No, baby, I know what R&R was. Trust me,
Yeah.
R&R is what the Air Force does,
Yeah.
even when they deploy. But
Remind me to tell you a story about that before we get off.
bet. All right, let's go ahead and hit some domestic issues then, man. Let's
Okay.
talk about some domestic issues. I talked about this yesterday on the podcast. I did it on a word on the streets. It has to do with California. All right, and that's why I'm happy that each state has their own way of doing their politics, their own policies. And I shot this out to California parents pretty much. How can California parents be comfortable with teachers um, being able to withhold information about their children if their children are gender nonconforming or fucking saying that they are of a different type of swinging for the other side, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think that's stupid. I think it's stupid that the teachers have that they were going to allow teachers to have that power. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, full disclosure, I'm a lefty, but that is stupid. Just like I think it's stupid, since we're talking about domestic in schools and kids, I think it is stupid that you have Louisiana saying the Ten Commandments is going to be up in every school. Well, I don't know if there's a Ten Commandments when it comes to the Satanic Church, but why not put that up there since we're doing this religion thing? Oklahoma is saying that there's going to be lessons taught about the Bible. Okay, so then let's have lessons taught about Buddha. Let's have lessons talk about the Muslim religion. Let's have the Quran being taught in schools. This is not a Christian nation. This
Mm.
nation was built upon the idea of religious freedom,
Mm-hmm.
not religious freedom, except for this is going to be a Christian nation. No, it's a freedom of religion, right? So
Right.
then let's put all these other religions in there because now you're discriminating and you're opening yourself for a can of worms.
All right, hold up. So Spinal says, "Oh my God, don't get me started with that topic. I live in California, and that is retarded. And it's truly my sister works for. Oh shit, it's true. My sister works at a high school. Yo, bro, I am 100% with you on that. It is retarded. I think this is one topic that both Hunt and I agree on. Gavin Newsom has overreached their authority, their power, and that's the problem that I have with the Democrat Party because it's no longer just I don't know, man. It's gone so far left, it's almost gone fucking infinite left. You know what I mean? And this is the person, just so y'all know, Gavin Newsom is the name that's been thrown around in the event that Biden decides to step down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So is
yeah.
that going to be who you vote for?
Listen, the only person, no, listen, I will hold my nose and vote for Kamala. I am not a huge Kamala Harris fan, but I will hold my nose and vote for her. Just
Fuck.
like I'll hold my nose and vote for Biden. I don't think Gavin Newsom's the answer. I have people that I am mutuals with on TikTok that love Gavin Newsom. I am not a Gavin Newsom fan. Who the Democratic Party should have been pushing, who I would have loved to seen them push, was Hakeem Jeffries. But Hakeem Jeffries' goal is to be Speaker of the House. That's what he wants. I think in 2028, he will run to be the president. That is my opinion about all that. And I am definitely voting for Hakeem Jeffries in 2028.
I don't know enough of his politics to make a judgment on him. Again, I don't strictly vote on party lines. I before Tulsi, went independent, she was a Democrat. You know what I mean? And I was willing. Don't
She
hate
was a
on
blue
her.
dog. She was a fucking blue dog.
You know what's funny is she was a fucking the princess of DNC up until she went against Hillary. Did you know that? Did you know that? Up
He was
until
a blue dog.
she went up against Hillary for her dog and Bernie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I got a soft spot for her. You know what I'm saying? She's a veteran. She's fucking young. She's very articulate. She speaks well, and I like her way of thought. She won't just fucking send our boys and our girls out to a fucking foreign land, to intimidate or to make a presence. You know what I mean? And throw us into a fucking war that we don't need to be in.
Yeah,
So
no
I
president.
respect that.
No president should throw us in the quagmire. I believe that, like, I can't say this enough, man. We have the best fighting force. For God's sakes, we have Delta. We have SEAL Team 6. In my eyes, Delta will always be number one in this country. That's just some bias, and I understand that Delta pulls from everybody, right? But we have Delta, for God's sakes. We have what? Let me see. We have the McLarens. We have two
Right.
McLarens, Delta and SEAL Team 6. Those
Mhm.
are our best. We don't know what the fuck. Them motherfuckers are going all the time.
Okay.
Those men.
Let's see. Spinal saying he's talking about his sister. She's a counselor, and there's a handful of students that told her that they identify as the opposite sex. It's wild, and this is in Central Cali, where all conservative. Imagine how it's in LA, bro. I'm originally from LA, and I still got family out there. There's a reason I will never move back to LA. Let's just say that. Hey Doc, hey, how you doing? Hey, welcome to the Gunline, Doc. Hey, I appreciate you being here. All right, and these are a lot of these people are coming in because I did a interview with a cat named Gunner from Gunner's Collective, and they started coming over here. He's been shouting out the platform over on his channel. So shout out to if you guys haven't gone, those who are here that are still here, maybe go check out Gunner's Collective TV and Collective Clips. But yeah, we were saying now, what was it that we're saying? What were we talking
We
about?
were
I
talking
got
about how
distracted
Gavin
by
Newsom.
Doc K right here, man. Like,
We were talking about how Gavin Newsom
yes,
overstretched his
Gavin.
authority,
Right. So
perceived authority.
So I mean, yeah, to me, dog, I did a fucking I was pissed when I saw that, bro. I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because being from California, and not only that, but being a parent, to know that teachers have like this authority over my children, that's like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? And like I said, I mean, I'm glad that my child feels comfortable to come to you and talk to you like this. However, why is it that they feel that comfortable to talk to you about this? You know what I mean? It got me thinking, like, what the fuck? Not only that, these are family household matters. You know what I'm saying? So I
Even
just
so,
got in 10 minutes ago is the guest a veteran too. Yeah, Spinal Hunt right here is I served with him back in 277 Field Artillery out of Fort Hood, Texas. We both deployed to Baghdad from December 2005 to December 2006. He went to the initial invasion of Iraq in 2003 with the 101st Airborne Division.
Air
And
assault.
oh God, I don't even know why y'all still got airborne on that shit. And yeah, and the main reason that I like to have these conversations with him is because though we're on opposite sides of our politics, I want to show that people can still have conversations without having to dog each other out. You know what I mean? And our perspective, I think it's the perspective of America, the American populace. We're not the Fox News channel or the MSNBC channel people. We're just your regular American Joes, and discussing American problems. Doc Hay, we love you too. Thank you so much.
So here's my thing too, man.
Go ahead, Pim.
Once again, like I said, when it comes to children, man, listen, I guess you can say I have all those conservative values. I was pissed off when I seen what they were doing in New York and California. Listen, I'm all about the pride parades. What I'm not about is having kids there and there being naked adults. I'm not about there being kids there and people are in a swimming pool doing number one on each other. If those people knew that they were going to do those acts and be nude around kids, no kids should have been left there. First of all, they should have known this is not the right behavior to have around kids, right? So now,
or out in public at all.
Yeah. So now it's like, yo, dude, what are you doing? Like, come on, man, have some decency. Have your parade. I don't care. Listen, I'm for their parade. I'm just like for the Puerto Rican Day parade. I'm like, hey, man, yeah, let's have that shit. I want to go there one day. I don't.
You just like Puerto Rican girls, that's why.
Yeah, listen, hey, the Latinos are my weakness. And roast con pollo. Have your parades, man. Show pride. Show the Puerto Rican Day parade. Hey, fine, show pride, man. If y'all want to do that, if y'all want to have y'all's, the pride parade, do that. Do not, under any circumstance, be naked around kids. Do not take lewd acts around kids. And then for the law to say they're not getting any kind of gratification out of it is bullshit.
Spinal. Oh shit, that's what's up. Y'all went to Iraq, courtesy of Bushy weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
11 bang. Oh, okay. You're an 11 Bravo. Oh
hey,
shit.
11 Bravo. You're welcome, Queen. Because when the Queen calls, the King will move. Heaven and earth to save you guys.
Can y'all see that?
King of battle, baby. Oh hell, artillery. King of battle, follow me.
Hey, infantry leads the way after artillery destroys everything that's in there.
We clear the path.
Man.
Spinal brother, listen, man, I love you to death. I never met you, man. Any veteran, especially 11 Bravos, I'm gonna talk shit all day.
Oh yeah. And that's one thing that another thing about why it's called on the gun line, because on the gun line, anybody that knows is how we do. We talk a lot of shit, but we have thick skin. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to it. Let's say Biden by some miracle wins. Why do you think he would be? Oh Jesus Christ! What are you doing that because he's recently gone or? Oh man. No, I mean, why do you think that he will be best for our economy?
Well, one thing that I do agree what he's done so far with this economy, right? We know these computer chips, they were made in Taiwan, and there was a big, huge issue with these computer chips. He just did the chips manufacturing thing, right? So now these chips that we need for our cars, our computers, the F-35s, our military hardware, those things, because of the bill that he did, the bill that he got passed in both houses of Congress, those jobs are coming over here. So that's the tech job. We know that STEM is going to be real important. If I'm not mistaken, in some fashion, tech is a part of STEM, right? So now we have those jobs that are going to be created over here. And that is something that's huge. That's an export that we will be able to give out, which means that we're going to get money for that, more money coming in here because we're exporting this stuff along with making it, which is causing the economy to grow because we're making jobs. I do believe that they're wrong for this mandate for the electronic vehicle, these EVs. I can't stand that shit. That is stupid. Let people have their fucking Hemis. Let me enjoy my fucking Hemi.
So let's see. Damn it. Y'all gonna gang up on me, cuh? Haha, respect though. We can agree, though we talk shit to MPs the most. Obama sent me to Afghanistan. Yo, check this out. Obama told me that the war was over. I was in Mosul And I woke up to Obama saying all combat operations are over. This was in September of 2010, and I'm like, they are. Then why the fuck am I prepping my MRAP to go out here right now on route Toyota get blown up?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Bush said the same shit.
He's a
And if y'all
mission
ever seen Band
accomplished.
of Brothers, I felt the same way because they were told they were going home at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, in 2003, I shit you not, we were told we would be home on July 4th. Man, July 4th came and went. They gave us some bullshit ass burgers they said were from Burger King. And meanwhile, we're in the middle of fucking Jaguar, north and south, and they gave us this shit. And then they were like, okay, you'll be home in September. September came, okay, guys, it's official. You'll be home in October. And then it's like, well, fuck, I guess we're here for a year.
Shit. At least they told us from the get-go, y'all going for a year. Enjoy. Yeah. You know what did suck about my deployment? The first deployment that when we went to Baghdad, I didn't get to go on leave up until I think it was like almost damn near September or October. I was there damn near the whole fucking year before I went on R&R, bro. That shit pissed me the fuck off. And what's fucked up is the night before the night of our last mission, before we're supposed to go to BIOP to fly out, we were going to FOB Falcon. Don't you know, on the way back from Falcon, we're all stuck. The convoy's all stuck, right? Oh, what the fuck was that route, bro?
Irish?
It was right before Irish. It's what Irish turned
Tampa?
into. No, not Tampa. It's the one that goes on Falcon, right in front of Falcon. But either way, we were coming back from Falcon, and it was all fucking locked up from all the way up to Irish. It was locked up, and we had to get on Irish in order to get back into IZ. Bro, don't you know? We're sitting right there. Convoys are all halted, and we pull up. I was the gunner, right? So we pulled up with Sergeant J, and he's like, "Hey, ask him what the fuck's going on." So I go and I ask the gunner, like, "Hey, gunner, what's going on, man? What's cracking?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, there's a firefight going on in the Mahalas. Hey, aren't y'all supposed to be going up there?" I look at him, I'm like, "We ain't going nowhere, homie." And then like, yeah, there's a firefight going on right there. And then you see the fucking the Bradley start just unloading, dog. Just do. That 25 Mike was blowing holes. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, my ass started puckering up because the motherfucker's like, "Ain't y'all infantry? Ain't y'all going in there?" Like, "Nah, homie, I'm a 13 Bravo. We on our way back to the IZ."
So do you guys think that life would be this crazy on U.S. soil? I don't think that I would ever think, and I'm not speaking for Lopez, I don't think that I would ever think that there would be this much in my lifetime, right? Because I know, whatever, I got that. I'm not going off on it. But I don't think in my lifetime I would ever see this much divisiveness in this country. And yeah, I know I said that word wrong, but I don't think that I would see this much divide on this soil to where people are willing to hurt each other for political beliefs.
I have to double tap on exactly what he just said, Doc. Myself, I never thought that. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. It pisses me off that we went and did, what our country asked of us, and came back over here to see, maybe because we were in a society within the military where we all are just one. We don't see each other as color. There are some that do. Don't get that twisted. But for the majority of us, we see each other as just one whole society. And to get back out here and see, like Hunt was saying, the divisiveness that's out here, the high school behavior that's happening with our society, it's an embarrassment. To me, honestly, it's an embarrassment. And I really hope that we can grow out of it, because to me, I believed that within politics per se, you're supposed to reach a compromise. Nobody's ever going to be getting 100% of what they wish when they're negotiating. And that's the whole point of politics, though. You know what I mean? But now it seems like it's just weakness that if somebody concedes something to the other one, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just crazy to me, and it is a lot worse. Especially, I'll tell you what. Oh, go ahead, Hunt. You have anything else to add?
Wait, hold on. Just to Gary like you said, it's crazy because like you look at Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson damn near faced getting impeached, getting his vacancy to the to the Speaker of the House because he sided with the Democrats on passing a spending bill.
Mm.
And this spending bill kept the government open. Now, I got it. I got how people feel. But at the end of the day, Mike Johnson was like, no, man, we need to make sure government is working. Government is running. We need to make sure that the people on Social Security get their pay. We need to make sure that these other things are getting done. So if I have to compromise with these people to make sure that civilians, our veterans are getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it.
See,
And
what I don't like, and I'll tell you this, Doc K, and I'm sure that every other veteran feels the same way. I don't like it when politicians use us as their pawns. I don't like them. I don't like it when they use us as their talking points. You know what I mean? As their figures. And now, don't go there. Don't go there. Yesterday was different. Yes, I'm just saying. Yesterday was different. Now he was allowing the families to grieve, and they were showing their point as to how. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one almost broke me, bro. I don't know if you saw it, but that one almost broke me. There was this family who had just lost, one of the families had lost their son, 20 years old. And it's like, God damn, dog. Like, the mom's crying, bro. The pops is there, and he had a plan for when he got home, just like every other person. I'm sure all of us that are veterans here know of people who didn't make it back. You know what I mean? And fortunately for a lot of us, we haven't had to see the faces of the grieving parents. So seeing that yesterday, it got to me. I'm not gonna lie, it fucking got to me. And I started thinking about, like, fuck, what if that shit would have happened to me? I'll tell you what, everybody in the military would hate me in my unit because I had about 6 people that needed to be contacted. So I mean, I don't know if y'all know about blackouts, Como blackouts or River City. Anytime that there was a death or fatality, we'd go on what's called River City, and nobody could communicate with anybody until
serious.
Yeah, until everybody got notified. So people would be mad because I would have 6 people to be notified, and 2 of them lived in El Salvador, in the middle of nowhere. Good luck, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's talking
But
about snail mail.
Yep. So yeah, hey, seriously, if y'all got any questions of us, hit us up, man. Let us know. And I'm about to get onto a touchy subject right now, a very touchy subject, which is immigration, inmigración, if you will. Hunt, why is your candidate the best option to handle the immigration issue or problem? First of all, do you accept that there is a crisis that's going on at the border?
So I do think there's a problem at the border. I'm not going to go so far as say there's a crisis. I think that this problem at the border has always been a problem at the border. I think that, like everything else that happens over time, if we don't fix the problem, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, right? And I think that it's to the point right now where there are a lot of fingers being pointed because they're like, okay, now is so many coming over, but we've seen this happening before. Like, why didn't we do anything when we know that numbers tend to go up? If we look at it back from the Bush era, if we look at it from the Obama era, if we look at it from the Trump era, and now to this current administration, we can see that there have been trends like the pie chart where it was going up and up and up and up and up. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have just waited till right now towards Biden to where it's this this big huge crisis going on. Right? We've seen the chart, we've seen it. This should have been settled years and years ago, where we'd be like, all right, guys, hey, listen, we can project things out, and we are projecting that over the next 5 years. If we can project over the next 5-10 years with our fiscal money, why can't we project over the next 5 years? Hey, listen, this is going to be like the immigration problem that we're going to have at the border. We should have been able to do that. This was a failure on multiple administrations.
Daniel Berry Sports highlights. Welcome. What's up? He says, yo. Let's see. Spinal. My mom crossed the border pregnant with me. I'm first generation. The first language is Spanish, and even my parents agree that the border should be closed. It is wild. You know what, brother? I'm with you on that. I'm first gen as well. My parents came here illegally. Well, they came here legally, and they overstayed their visa. All right.
I wonder what my kids are.
Well, they're legal now, but
they were born. Well, yeah, they were born here. I mean, like She got her citizenship while she was in the army, but I'm like, what are y'all? So no, they wouldn't have to.
They're first gen. They're first generation then.
No, because
For
I'm
Hispanics,
always because I've been here.
but for Hispanics, on their Hispanic side, they're going to be first gen
Okay.
because she's from Guat, right? Hey man, don't hate on the whole Central American populace because of that person. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know when your parents crossed over here, Spinal. Mine's came like in 70. So, it wasn't as overcrowded as it is nowadays in all the cities. My parents came to Los Angeles. All right. So I don't know if you've heard of how Los Angeles is now. It's a couple of million too many there. And I don't mean too many Hispanics or too many illegals. I just mean too many people, and anyways, but eventually they got their paperwork completed, like, through my brother Doug, who was born the original anchor baby in my family. And then I came along and freaking we were able to bring the rest of my family over, the rest of my brothers and my sisters. Back in 85. Oh, right on. Okay. So yeah, you know, uh, and it's crazy, what I appreciated is the fact that my parents didn't come here to become a burden. You know what I'm saying? They were never a burden on society. And I'm not saying that the majority of the people are that do come over, but there are many that do become a burden to society out here. Um, I
So
believe that my guy had the right idea regarding um, immigration because he had slowed it down. Is it ever going to stop illegal migration? No, it's not going to stop, but it can be slowed down. All right, Gary Rowland says this. All right, my only input on immigration is it should be done the proper way so we know who is who's in the country. And almost most of my friends are immigrants that I met in the army. I thank the gods every day. So I will say this before Hunt. I know you want to probably tap in as well. Look, gentlemen, ladies, those that are in here, don't feel that you don't have a voice or an opinion on this, or that you might be looked upon as stereotyping or racial because of your opinions. All right. Everybody has their opinions. And I know that we live in a society now that if you are a straight white male or a straight white female, you can't make or have an opinion. And so over here you can. And that's right, dog. The Reagan amnesty. That's exactly what got my mom her residency and my dad, bro. That's exactly
well,
it.
here's the deal. We don't care about when we talk about Cubans come here because they say they before everything was going on. They say they were political prisoners in this political asylum, right? And they had the 1 foot policy or whatever it was called,
right?
And no one cared. Everybody's like, "Yeah, come here, yeah, come here." But when we talk about people from Central America saying, "Hey, listen, man, I'm fleeing El Salvador, I feel like a political prisoner, like I'm fleeing there." And then the second thing too, man, this is no disrespect, and you know
Mm-hmm.
this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you lived through this. You've had your
I
family
was
live
just
through
about to
this where
bring
they
that
had
up.
to, huh?
I was just about to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you had your family live through this. So it's like they had to live here for a while, if I'm not mistaken what you said, and then they got everything right. They weren't a burden. So it's like if that was me, and once again, if that was me, I would be like, nah, fuck it. I know that people are still gonna do this because guess what? It happens. People are still gonna do it. My family did it. They didn't come
Mm-hmm.
here necessarily on with everything they needed, but they got it. And I do
Mm-hmm.
believe there are bad apples that are coming over here. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
blind. There are bad
Yeah,
apples
they're
coming over here.
rapists, they're criminals, they're
And there are a
gangsters.
lot of good people that want to flee where they're at and come here and be
100%. Now, so here's my thing about that. All right, so um, being that, let's talk about El Salvador. You
I love the fact that he is the fucking president. That motherfucker's not playing around.
so check this out. I'll check this out. I'm a circle back and I'm gonna come back to El Salvador right now. And let's see. Hold on. I don't want to ignore people. So, what's going on in El Salvador? If it's a civil war or corrupt government, I'm gonna touch on that right now, Roland. And that's super thoughtful gun line. Yeah, it's hard to say something without offending somebody as of late. And don't worry, Hunt and I don't get offended. We are thick skinned artillerymen.
There's plenty
So
of straight white men and women that are liberals and get away with saying shit. So that's a
mm,
fucking narrative. I'm gonna fucking.
Abelo says, I'll say it, close those borders. Why should tax dollars go? Why should my tax dollars go to government assistance for illegal immigrants? That's a lot of money. That's right. And then we got Spinal saying, "That's right. Let's go Bukele." All right, let me talk on El Salvador for a second because my parents are Central American. My dad came here from El Salvador back in '70. My mom came here from Nicaragua back in '70 as well. They met out here in LA. Well, out there in LA. I'm in Texas now. But what I'm saying is this: that was a time during in Nicaragua was starting to go, into the war era. It was a lot of poverty going on, and the Sandinistas were coming into power. So yeah, they were. My mother was fleeing a future civil war that was about to start cracking out there. My father left for a better job opportunity. My dad had a sixth grade education, but he was a hard working motherfucker. So he went to LA. They came on visa, student visas. They overstayed them, but not one time did my parents ever collect any kind of federal assistance, whether it was welfare. I'm lying. They got welfare one time for 6 months, and that was enough for them because they were embarrassed when they had to go in line into social services with other kids and then had to go and have to pay for things with food stamps. My parents were like, nah, we're too proud for this shit. We ain't doing that again. And that's when my dad started working on the table. Anywho,
Hey, pass me that
but
EBT card.
shit. Well,
Pass it
that's
here. I'm gonna use this
EBT. That's
motherfucker.
EBT card nowadays, dog. Back in them days, it was food stamps. Remember
Yeah,
that
it
little
had the
booklet?
little book. I know.
So, but
I
check
will say
this
this
out.
real quick. Listen, everybody, please chat. Let your friends know about this. Tell them to come in here. Lopez is gonna let y'all know the next time that he's gonna go live. We're gonna go live. We'll have another discussion. You guys are great in the chat. Love your questions. Tell your friends about this because that way, like I said, they can see two grown people talking like grown men, and just having these ideas. They can see that you guys in the chat, y'all are being respectful, and y'all see us answering y'all respectful. So if y'all care about people that have opposite opinions, come tell them to follow the On the Gunline podcast, like, subscribe, everything, man. We have to get this channel up so that way we can get back to some normal level in America where people
For
can
real.
have these topics and not hate each other.
And I appreciate that, Hunt. Hunt knows that I'm not the type of person that likes to promote myself like this. But I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody that's in here that's been coming in and out, I appreciate y'all. Spinal said Hunt for president.
You don't want that.
I don't know
You
about
don't
all
want
that,
that.
man.
You don't want that. Listen, hey,
The
listen.
boy
Hey,
got
that
more
White House is
fucking.
gonna be a trap house.
I don't need another fucking song about my president is black. I don't
Yeah,
need
hey,
that shit.
listen. They ain't ready for the locks in the White House, baby.
Shit. They were ready when Obama was there. That would have been some gangster shit if Obama would have grown some long ass hair and motherfucking came out with a
Obama
pit
wore a
bull.
tan suit and people flipped the fuck out.
Oh man. There's a Marine channel that would love to chat with you guys. Hey, send them on through, man. No doubt. Talk to them,
Yeah,
Doc. Hey, I appreciate that. We are always down to have anybody come up on here and shoot the shit with us, man.
yeah. Let me
So
know because I'll make sure I have a box of crayons waiting for him too, and I will make sure they're his favorite flavor.
we'll have his favorite flavor: red, blue, green.
Yeah.
So let me go back to the immigration. Look, the immigration as far as because they were persecuted. I could see that in the 80s. I could see that in the 70s. I can't see it now. I can't. Not Salvador, at least. Not El Salvador, not Nicaragua. Because over there, it was terrible. I lived in El Salvador. Quick story for you all, okay? Just a quick story for you all. When I was 16 in 1994, when I was 16, my parents sent me to live in El Salvador. All right. My parents sent me to live in El Salvador from January of 1994 through December of 1994. I got to experience what life was like out there in San Salvador and in the small little town that I was living in as well. It wasn't the greatest. This was during the beginning / middle of the deportations. All right, it was the deportations that were happening back to El Salvador with the gang members. They were flooded by gangs, and people were being killed. People were being taxed, all that good shit. Unfortunately, that's not a reason to say that you're being politically persecuted or to seek amnesty. You know what I mean? That wasn't. And the one person that has done something about that, we just mentioned him here in the chat, Bukele. Bukele is fucking G about that shit, dog.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because I like the way he rebuttals people because they're telling them, "Oh, that's against human rights. What you're doing are human rights violations."
What about
And
them
he
kids'
said,
rights?
"Hmm."
He said, "What about them kids' human rights? What about that
Facts.
woman's human rights not to get violated?"
And he
Like, yeah,
said,
that's
"When
why I say, listen, I love that dude.
he
That
said, you
Joker
know, if
said,
you guys want to give them human rights, I'll come and pick them up. You can take them."
that
You
Joker
know.
said, anything happen, your homeboys won't get a grain of rice in this motherfucker.
Hold on. She's saying tracking is a Marine thing.
Negative, Chief.
That's a R thing.
Yeah.
That okay. I think it's a military thing. Tracking,
Yeah.
tracking.
So
You-
Gary asked, do I think Trump will come out to Miniman? I honestly think Trump will come out to Miniman. I honestly think he will. I think that 50 will walk him out singing that song. Because 50 had a concert
that
and
would
he
be
had the
funny.
little meme with Trump's face on his thing for that Get Rich or Die Trying album. I think that was it.
Was
No,
that
yeah, I think
real?
that was that. Yeah, 50 had a concert and he had Trump's. I have the meme. I'll send it to you. Where like it was that album where in the club, Get Rich or Die Trying, all that stuff, right? It was that album, but he had Trump's face posed on his body and he was singing Mini Man right like Saturday. Like I think it's gonna happen. Funny story, and I have to tell the story.
Go ahead.
In 2003, when we left Camp PA in Kuwait and we were staged ready to go to Iraq, right? So you had the whole brigade. So you had over 200 something vehicles. Damn near everybody was listening to Mini Men waiting to roll from Kuwait to Iraq. That song has a special meaning to me.
Damn. I'll tell you what. My brother, when my brother Ed, he was in the Gulf War. He was a tanker. He said that when they were rolling through Saudi Arabia and into Kuwait, right before they got into the battle with the tanks out there, they were bumping Iron Man. That was like the song that they were going through, rolling. Yeah, dog.
Iron Man.
Because they're fucking because you know they're tanks. So, hold on, we're missing the convo here. What's going on in here?
No,
I'm gonna record that shit. Are you? Can you see the chat in your side too?
Yeah, I was seeing the chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 50 Cent is in Milwaukee. Is he?
Yeah, that's why I said I believe 50 is going to walk him out to Miniman. Like it's gonna, it's. Listen, since we're talking about him too, and I'll let you back.
Go ahead.
God damn it, that is a cult following. I've seen people with a little bullshit on their fucking ear that look like mini My Pillows. Like Mike Lindell is making money off of that shit right now. This is a fucking cult, people.
Bro, I'll tell you what, man. I'm not gonna hate on him. I'm not gonna hate on him, bro. That motherfucker, hey, he got a piece of his ear blown off. You know what I'm saying? And the way MSNBC make it sound like, oh, it's just his ear. Bitch. You know, have you been shot at? Yo, this motherfucker got more combat action than
I don't even got a cab. 4 deployments to Iraq and I don't even have a fucking cab. What the fuck? I'm pissed about that shit. So we got a fucking cab and I ain't even got one.
Oh man. You know what's crazy, dog? One of our mutual friends hit me up. He wants me to write him a buddy letter regarding for him to up his percentages. If any veterans out there, for example, like Spinal, hey dog, I don't know if you're service connected or anything, VA or anything like that. If you need any help with that, hey, email me on the gunline at gmail.com, bro. And I'm not the greatest at it, but I'll tell you this. If you need any assistance getting your VA claims done and shit like that, do not use those third-party vendors.
Don't do it.
They will fucking sucker you and take your money.
Yes, they will.
Just gonna throw that out there.
So, yes, they will.
But yeah, dude. So where were we now? Immigration. So yeah, what I think that Trump was doing best with our immigration policy was having that having them have amnesty or wait in Mexico before they came over here.
Well, something that I didn't like about that was, man, like there were a lot of children being separated from their parents at the borders. Like this is something we can't acknowledge. And I do have a friend, and I know this is a friend of a friend, but a friend's wife, her mother worked there. Well, she was working she was working there not as a border agent, but one of the
Mhm.
civilians. And she was telling us like there are horror stories that were going on, especially with the children. Now, that was a policy where they separate the children. I didn't like that, right? They kept the children, quote unquote, according to the mainstream media, in cages,
Mhm.
right? That wasn't a good look. We seen it. It wasn't a good look, plain and simple. To no fault of the children, right? It sucked that the children had to suffer that. It sucked that the parents weren't understanding that they were going to have their children separated from them. And it sucked that the ones that did know it kept bringing their children there. And they were victims of the fact that it was going to happen.
Mhm. You know, it's an unfortunate thing as well that again, they knew not to come here illegally, bro. They knew not to. Now, look, I will concede something to you all. I will concede something. Our immigration needs to be revamped. 100% needs to be revamped. But the use of children is also a tactic that's being used by the media to pull at our hearts and fucking at our heartstrings. That's what it is. Because look what's going on. For example, when they show footage of Israel or in Gaza, what's the first thing they show you? Kids. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because they want to tug at those heartstrings because they know that us Americans are compassionate when it comes to kids. I'll tell you, one of the worst pictures that I remember seeing of the immigration problem was a father and his daughter that were found floating upside down in the river over there by is it Brownsville
Yeah.
or by and that broke my heart, bro. Because I'm a father. I have 3 fucking kids. And I know what they're trying to come and do here. I know that they're escaping poverty. I understand that 100% that they're escaping poverty. Okay, but when they start making an excuse that they're escaping, um, you know, being persecuted, that's where I have a problem. All right. So she says, "Sweet, thanks. Burn pits, fuck my lungs up. Are you signed up to the burn pits? And if also, make sure you check out the Pact Act. All
Yeah.
right,
Guess
check
who
that
signed the
out.
fact that?
Yep. Let's see. I appreciate it, bro, but TBI and other shit got me maxed out. Gracias, compadre. Hey, no doubt, big dog, no doubt. The TBI they done fucked me on that one, but it's all good because they ended up combining it with some other shit. And then yeah, that's sad. About the children. 100%. 100%. Gunners collect. Hey, what's going on, Big G? I appreciate you being in here, big dog. Um, and let's see. The VSO who helped me out also works for the American Legion, and she's a retired first sergeant. She gives a shit and actually works to help the people who come into her office, and it's not just a job. That's amazing. You rarely find that nowadays out in the civilian sector,
Yeah, I
man.
need somebody to help me with my CRSC. So I know I'm gonna
Well,
take this personal time. I'm sorry to distract from your conversation, but if
no.
y'all know anybody that helps people with CRSC, hey, tell them to holler at King Virgo 82 at TikTok.
So, and no, that's gun to the Gunners Collective.
Yeah.
So, not this gun line guy, but yeah, you guys that know me from Gunners Collective, y'all can start calling me Lopez or D-Lo or Danny. That's what I go. That's my name. Uh, but check it. Yeah, I think that was one of the best things. Let's see. You both live in Texas. How's the fentanyl situation there? You want to take that one, Hunt?
So I think that's getting politicized too, right? The fentanyl crisis, because there was still a lot of fentanyl overdoses during the previous administration. And what I think that happened is like they kind of like it was addressed, but because people were not satisfied with the election outcome of 2020, they kept using these things like, well, this person died right now of fentanyl. This is horrible. This is horrible. This is going on. But once again, it was still going on. Like we can talk about the fentanyl crisis. We can talk about, the immigrants that came here and done some bad things. But at the same time, somebody like me will say, okay, well, under the former administration, there were a lot of cops that we seen that were unaliving people that look like me. And I got it. Statistically wise, there were going to be more white people that got unalived. But we know how narratives are. We know how that is. So I could say, well, what about this crisis right now with cops? Like I am for good cops. I'm not one of those people that say we need to abolish the cops and we need to defund the police. I'm not one of the people that say we need to defund the FBI and defund this, that, and the third. What I'm saying is there need to be better training. What I'm saying is just don't talk about the fentanyl crisis when it's affecting people that look like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll wrap it up with this real quick. The pharmaceutical companies, right? They got sued because of it wasn't fentanyl, it was codeine, not codeine, but it was some drug that they were taking. You know the pill. You know what was the pill that they were taking that everybody was overdosing on? It was a pain pill. So you had Johnson
Oh,
and
like
Johnson.
Oxycontin and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
OxyContin, right? You had these pharmaceutical companies. They got sued because it was suburbia that was getting hit with this, and suburbia's kids were losing their lives. But when still people were losing their lives in the outer cities, no one cared. No one got sued for that. Is once it started hitting a certain population in this country. So when the fentanyl crisis hit, and mainly it's starting to hit and crush a certain demographic in this country, now everybody gets upset. And I think it's bullshit.
I agree with that. I mean, granted, the 80s, 90s, it was like that, especially through the crack epidemic. I'll tell you, the worst time in South Central LA, 1987. Bro, there was dead bodies coming up anyways, because of the crack epidemic. And nobody gave two shits about South Central back then. And not even motherfucking Maxine Waters, that dumb cunt. But fentanyl is not just affecting fucking that demographic anymore.
It's affecting everybody.
It's affecting everybody. I talked to my nephew. You know my nephew Dago. You sat down with him on here, and he works with the youth out there, like gang related youth, and he's kind of like a social worker per se. And he tells me how bad it is with the fentanyl out there. It's a bad thing, man, and it's coming up through the borders. You know what I'm saying? So
it's all because of China
and Mexico, yeah.
But China's the one that they're shipping the chemicals they need. They're giving the scientists to there to show them how to make it. So it is a problem. Like a lot of people have a problem with China, and I know we're going back to international.
Oh no, that's fine because I mean it goes full circle.
So I know, and that's the one thing that I do say that we do need to sanction China on heavily is because they're the ones that are helping, or I don't know if it's helping or hurting when it comes to this fentanyl crisis, because they're the ones that are giving the supplies to the cartels to make it. So there needs to be tougher sanctions on it.
Here's what I think. Oh shit, can y'all see my son back there? Oh no, he's playing his video games. But okay, so what can we do in order to stop this? Again, my candidate had that shit locked down. My candidate.
I think that something has to happen. I'm not one that says that the borders have to be completely open and that something has to happen. Plain and simple. There has to be something that's an issue. And it is horrible and it is negligent on the left if they're just trying to ignore the issue and say, hey, no, we have to stop this. Because a few months ago, they called 8 terrorists, legit terrorists that came through the southern border. So now we do know that there are people that are literally on our terrorist watch list that are coming here because of the border crisis. And they know that they want to do something. So if we know that, then there has to be something done. We have to stop that. Was it Mullah Omar? I believe that's the guy's name. He was the guy that was 2 days before 9/11 happened. The Taliban took it out with the thing. His son has been trying to warn America and saying, hey, listen, guys, something else. They were planning something. TTP, Al-Qaeda, and who was it? The other one. They are planning something huge for America again. Just like Mullah Omar was telling people for the long. He was trying to tell America, hey, guys, Osama's doing some shit. Y'all might want to pay attention. That whole shit is fucked up. I'm not going to lie. Remember, I'm a leftist. When we talk about international policies, and I'm so sorry I'm talking so much.
No, you good, baby.
Piss me off. Do you know how much money we're sending to the Taliban every week? Between
Thanks, Biden.
40 and $80 million are going to the Taliban every week. That should outraise everybody that's in this chat, everybody that's listening, and everybody that will listen. That should outraise everybody.
100%. I'll tell you what. That's again one of the reasons that I could never ever vote for Biden because what he did out there. I was going to interview my Terp that I had out there in Afghanistan. I was going to bring him on here when that whole shit was going down because he was asking me because his family was out there. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, he's out here with his family and all that, his immediate family. But he was more concerned about his his father, his mother, sisters and brothers and whatnot. I'm that shit really pissed me off, dude. How he just did that shit. Like he just left. He just fucking left.
You
And
know why
what?
he's pissed?
Huh?
You know why he's pissed?
Why? Who's pissed?
You're a Turk.
No, I said I'm pissed at the way
Oh
he did that shit.
no, what so this is what I don't like it. Like I said, man, I'm not 100% on. I'm not saying that I'm not foaming at the mouth for Joe Biden. I told you, I'm holding my nose and voting for him. Do you know why it's so dangerous for Afghanis to move around in that country?
Yeah.
Because the Taliban has access to the bats and hide system. And what happened with the bats and hide? We put everybody in that motherfucker, even people that we were cool with.
Yep.
So guess what happens when they got to go travel somewhere? They're going to get fingerprinted. So now they're going to see that those people were working for the Americans. And guess what happens now? Them motherfuckers are hung somewhere.
Well, you know what? We did the bats and hides on when I was out there in Afghanistan when we were doing the artillery training school when we were teaching the Afghans. We had a bats and hides them. And see, that's the thing I thought that we could do here in the U.S. with all the people that are coming here. I don't know if they do that or not. But bats and hides, for those that don't know what that is, it's basically a system that they get your face, your retinal scan.
It's a biomatrix.
Yeah, biometrics, and pretty much you're in the system. And we're able to track you should you get into trouble. Think of like a DNA test without the DNA.
Now, here's the question. Now, do you think that would violate some? I don't know if you would say they have constitutional rights, but even if we do it for the Americans, right? Would that violate somebody's rights to have them, in that system?
But okay, again, we're not talking about U.S. citizens. I'm talking about motherfuckers that are coming here illegally.
Yeah.
Bats and hides them. They're already here illegally. You know what fucking kills me? They call it. I saw it because my mom's here, so I'm watching Spanish TV. And they're calling it migración irregular.
Immigration regulation.
No, irregular migration. Irregular migration. Call it what the fuck it is. It's illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? All this political fucking politically correct nonsense is fucking retarded. And I'm a fucking beaner. I'm a beaner, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and there goes my fucking monetization.
Yeah, monetization. Don't worry about it paying.
But no, I mean, what I'm saying is, I don't know where I was going with this anymore, man. I done lost my train of thought, brother. God damn.
Yes, final. That's what it is. It's that eye scanning shit. It's
bats and hides. Yeah, it's a scan of your eye.
Thumbprint and all that shit.
You tracking spinal. Fucking Univision is horrible. My boy, you are not lying. Univision is fucking retarded.
I don't know, man. Back in the days, man, they had them.
Oh, no, the weekends are still good. Hey, in the morning, you watching girls dancing.
Yeah, I told you, man. Listen, hey, I grew up in West Texas, man. It's something about them Spanish women, them Latin.
But I will tell you what, though, Hunt, it's not gonna take too long before the fucking feminists jump in there and be like, "You can't be dressing like that on TV. You're making us women look bad."
No, they need to leave the Latinas alone. Leave the Latinas alone. Let them dress how they want to dress.
Make Latinas great again.
Yeah, man. Listen, I wish I'd have got stationed at El Paso. I'd have lost my goddamn mind.
Shit, you probably would have wound up in a trunk out there somewhere. Shit. You know what? Hey man, I've kept you here for 2 hours, brother. I do appreciate you being here with us. I could keep on going with you, and I know you could too.
We'll say something for the next time to get more people in here to have your guests waiting.
Yeah, man, and everybody that tapped in here, man, I do appreciate it. Do me a favor, if you didn't catch this live and you're catching this on a repeat, I appreciate y'all being here. Do me a favor, hit me up at onthegunline@gmail.com with any kind of topics, any kind of discussions that you think that I should carry on with, that you would like to have me and Hunt have. I miss having Hunt here as my co-host. I mean, me and him used to talk about all kinds of shit. And before we go, we're gonna break this down into a military one real quick. Spinal, I want your opinion. Anybody who's a veteran here, I want your opinion. If you deployed to a war zone, all right? If you deployed to a war zone, does that automatically make you a combat veteran? That's what I need to know. Does it make you a combat veteran? All right,
Thank you,
Doc K,
Doc.
it was good seeing you here. Because to me, just because you deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, this motherfucker. No. That would have been this guy. But if you deployed to Afghanistan or Iraq, does that make a combat veteran? Absolutely motherfucking no. Because if you sat your ass in the goddamn S1 office pushing paper, making sure that goddamn awards got presented correctly, that was not a fucking combat experience.
If you're water purification and you were on the fob the whole time, no, you were a veteran in a combat environment. You were not a combat veteran. You are more than eligible and have earned the title of VFW. Plain and simple. But you are a veteran that was in a combat environment.
Facts. Doc K says no. Spinal says no. That's what I'm talking about. See, we are all on the same page on here.
Trust me. People have been getting in my ass talking about you're gatekeeping and this, that, and the third. I was like, no, I'm not taking away from them because listen, I think that you, like I said, you are a veteran in a combat environment.
Say it louder for the people in the back. Gary Rowland says no. All right. And then one more. When I hear this a lot from motherfuckers that deployed. She says I was a FOBIT analyst. Hey, but you did your job. All right. You did your job, Doc. Hey.
You went over there. You did your job. You didn't bitch, cry, and complain. You did your job faithfully. You served proudly. You did your job.
Hey, you know what I trip out on, man? That I didn't know that some of these cats were military. So that's just gonna build us up even more. You know what I'm saying? But check it.
Well, then how about next time we just have a complete military thing, and then they can ask us our questions and opinions about military, and even they can join.
Yeah, I'm down like Charlie Brown. If you sat on a big fob the whole time, no. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. You're right, Spinal. But here's one that gets me too. Motherfuckers that say, I fought for this country. Did you really fight for this country?
Motherfucker, you were making sure the TCNs didn't poison us when they were giving us our omelets. You didn't do shit. You made sure the TCNs weren't, in the fucking
that motherfucker was out there. Motherfucker was out there with a goddamn with a clicker. Checking IDs. Click. Checking ID. Click. Outside the motherfucking DFAC, bro.
Yeah. Stop it. You had a little bottle of water right there. Get the fuck out of here. all four of the uniforms that you came there with were pristine. They had no fucking sweat on them whatsoever.
Bro, the funniest shit I ever saw was in Mosul. We had this motherfucking gear queer. That's what we used to call them.
Translate that stuff.
Oh, whatever.
Yourself.
Nah. This motherfucker, dog. This motherfucker. He was at the gate. That's all he did was sit at the gate. But he had every fucking special op shit that you can have on a goddamn vest. Oh, yeah. He had the Surefire. He had the PEC 15. He had everything on that shit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, guy, all you do is open and close the goddamn gate.
And he was ready.
He was. But we were on Merez. We were on fucking Merez, which is a fob within a fucking fob. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's inside a Diamondback. So, I mean, what are you guarding? Against the fucking the bus that takes you from the PX to the gym?
Yeah, from one side, from Diamondback to Merez. Hey, that joker took his job serious. Not on duty.
I work for finance. Everyone loves a finance guy.
Yeah, until we don't get that pay that we took out. And it's like, man,
shit. Hey, where's my motherfucking combat pay? Where's my motherfucking combat pay? Shit. All right, and then Gary Rowland said, Mr. Tactical. Oh, motherfucking Tactical.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We are going to call it a day. Wrap it up on this one. Thanks for being here once again, man. Make sure if y'all dug it out here, let your friends know about it. Let your peoples know about it on the Gunline podcast. We do the word on the streets, and we do some lives. Thanks for being here. If you ever want to just jump on here and just shoot the shit like myself and fucking Hunt are doing, hit me up on the gunline@gmail.com. I'd be glad to have an interview like I did with Gunner and like I've done with many other veterans, man. Every veteran has a story. Every veteran deserves to have a voice be heard. Just because you weren't fucking ODA and fucking Delta doesn't mean that you couldn't have a fucking hell of a fun time while deployed.
Hell yeah.
All right, Avalos, I appreciate that. And I'm going to keep it 55th on Paru. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Rounds complete, end of mission, and Gunline out, y'all. Deuces.
Hook 'em horns.
This motherfucker.